gotta carpet your floors before you let them club and hoof news women romp around your house.
The Loose Stool with Matt and Nick.
How do you okay, sign me up for wind before you're signed up for solar? You would think at the very least you'd start with solar and then go to wind, and maybe I'm saying that because there's so many people up here on alternative energy, but I've never heard anybody, and also, it depends on your elevation and how much wind you get, and that all changes, whatever. But I don't think I've ever heard anybody go, I'm going to build my wind power and then I'm going to do solar. Because, the wind is so fickle. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, yeah, as you said, solar panels, are not cheap. But once they're there, that's just free energy. What do you...
Yeah.
What are you protesting exactly? So I maybe
I used
get
to have
distrust,
to run our generator for 4 hours every single day. We just got these solar panels up at the end of last summer we got them up. Didn't really do anything through the winter because Alaska. We don't have a lot of sunlight or whatever. But, I run it for 2 hours about once a week now. And we're running everything on this property off of 6 solar panels that probably cost $1,200. The batteries are the expensive part. Maybe the solar panels cost $3,000, but whatever. It's cheap. It's not a fucking giant monstrosity in the air, I never thought about that until you brought it up. What that must cost to build that.
Yes. Solar power, that'll pay for itself in a few months. The wind power, that takes years and, a decade. So I understand why they'd be mad at the wind. And, obviously, also these companies are quite stupid in putting a bunch of, they tried to put, well, not tried, they did put a wind farm right next to Horicon Marsh, which is one of the biggest hubs for migrating waterfowl. So you got every windmill has a pile of 50 dead ducks and geese at the bottom of it, which was just a terrible fucking idea. And they have since taken them down. So it's not that I don't understand the people of the area being distrusting of these companies coming in for alternative energy again after the first one was such a folly. But it's solar. It's not harming anything. They're just basically big slabs that you just let sit and they do their thing.
Well, and when I was, especially in Germany, because they've really taken up solar power and renewable energy. You're just you go down the freeway. I guess it was actually the Autobahn, which, by the way, I've never mentioned this before, but you hear about the Autobahn, and in your head you think it's just race cars going everywhere, and it's just the craziest thing you've ever seen. It just feels like the freeway. It doesn't feel like any fucking different. Yeah. So
you
that's
can just
why
go
I
as
just had
fast
to
as
say
you want.
yeah. But you're still it's people are still driving within reason. So I just I just wanted to bring that up quickly because I thought that was funny. No, we were just on the freeway, and then I realized, it's the Autobahn. Everybody's the Autobahn. No, it's the fucking highway. It's no fucking different than anything, But
it's not to distract from your point, but that just reminds me of when I was on Highway 1, the coastal highway in California. And it's that's so many people's dream to drive that, and I have nothing but nightmares about it because I drove it in a minivan. There's a 90-degree turn every 3 feet. It feels like I got people coming up on my ass.
Shit.
I'm struggling to do 30 miles an hour. People are racing up behind me going 90 somehow, and I got one working headlight. I get stuck out there until 3 in the fucking morning, and this heavy fog rolls in because you're right on the ocean. And I got 100-foot drop off to the ocean on my left side. I got a rock slide area directly to my right. And I'm just trying desperately to find a road off to like. So it's the same thing. Like people dream about being on this highway. I'm like, fuck this.
Well, my experience wasn't fuck this. It was just like, my point was more like, this is not nearly as special as like, you know, and I didn't get to drive it either, but I wouldn't have went over 65. I like to drive a comfortable like pace, you know, like I don't need to go 100 miles an hour just because I can, or, you know, 200 kilometers an hour as it would have been there or whatever, you know, like, it's not necessary. But yeah, that was a far aside. I just realized, I was like, yeah, we're on the freeway. Oh no, it's the Autobahn. But you go down it, and there's fucking solar farms everywhere, and they're like not even way up in the air as you kind of imagine. You know, like where you want to get this, like get closer to the power, because they like build these things so well on hills or on flat lands or in valleys where the sun is just, you know, perfectly coming in, and they're all on a swivel too. So these things are like moving with the sun throughout the day, and they're very discreet, you know, like you go past them, they don't seem like anything, you know, and it's just pretty cool. And I'm just confused that we were able to get people to buy into wind energy before solar, and that just makes me honestly feel like, if I'm going to be honest, all these people with the land that they had who built all those wind farms are kind of idiots, because everybody knows the sun is more reliable than the wind. It's like the fucking easiest thing to understand, like on Earth. Like there's sun every day. Every single day there is sunlight. Even if it's cloudy, you still... Well, no, even if it's cloudy, you still get some electricity out of it.
Okay.
Maybe you still have to run... Okay, so maybe you still have to run your generator, but you're still getting more power. You're still saving gas or fuel or, you know, diesel, whatever it is that you're using, because you're getting some energy from the sun. Now, here's the bonus, though, or here's the best thing. If you have solar and wind... Think about what it's usually like when it's cloudy outside. A lot of times it's windy.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a reason to, you know, like to have
they
both.
can coexist, yeah.
You know what, man? I gotta say, I think we've got quite a start here. And even though we've talked for several minutes without starting the show, like I feel like we kind of already started the show. I don't know about you.
Yeah, we can do that. Welcome to the Loose Stool, everybody. It's the Loose Stool with Matt and Nick. My name is Gary, but my friends call me Scoot. And I see you sipping on something over there, you silly Billy. What you got?
I don't know why you just did all that. That was interesting. You threw me for a fucking loop right there. Jesus. All right, who's Gary? We got to meet this guy more often. Well, maybe not. He sounds a little bit annoying, but I don't know why. I can't quite pick up on it quite yet.
The feeling just struck me.
Yeah. That was odd though. I was preempting the whole thing, like where we don't even got a fake that we're starting the show. Just like, hey, we forgot to talk about what we're drinking, but we're already doing the show here. Okay. But, you know, all right, cool. I like the, well, I'm just sitting here and I'm sipping on some Coors Banquet. It's lovely. And I love it so much.
You're still on the
Banquet. This
Banquet.
nice, beautiful beige can. Yeah, it's very nice. That's what I'm having. What are you having?
Pretty beige. I got this, what do they call it?
It's cream, actually. It's not beige.
It's
cream.
more of a
I
cream.
should correct myself.
Creamy beige.
Yeah.
So I hope I pronounced this right. I think it's Nilor Kakor. Oh, no, it was never mind. It's Rolling Rock. I tried to get you going again.
From the planks of old Latrobe.
Yes. The glass of old... Is it Latrobe or Latrobe? I've never known.
I think Latrobe... I don't know. All I know is Old Latrobe sounds a lot better than Old Latrobe.
Yeah, it does. I've also... So does
Yes, from the tanks of what does it actually say? I said from
okay.
the
Yeah, you're close. It's from the glass line tanks of Old Latrobe. We tender this.
Oh, I said
beer
from
if you're
the
enjoying
planks. Like
The
there was
planks.
like they were on the boardwalk.
Oh. Hey, if you watch what was that show? Man, why do I always forget this? The one the sitcom in the '80s that was supposed to take place in Wisconsin that totally wasn't, or in Port Washington. You know
Oh,
what
it's
I'm
from
talking
the
about?
90s, but step
90s.
by step.
Step by step, yes. I was going to say in Port Washington we have one of those boardwalks. I'm on the Ferris wheel all the time. But I've always kind of like...
It could have just been at Great America. It's only an hour and a half away, and it did look like the American Eagle in the TV show intro. So, like, there is that.
Was there a roller coaster in the intro?
Yeah, that was the thing that people always called out. Like, that's not Port Washington, because there was like this big roller coaster, and that's
Right.
why I thought you brought up like the boardwalk, you know, like because it's on the shores of Lake Michigan, but it suspiciously looks like the American Eagle from Six Flags Great America. So you could kind of say like, well, that's not the area, but it's in the area, you know, like a big white wooden roller coaster.
Well,
yeah.
kind of. I mean, Great America's in Illinois, but
yeah, but it's an hour and a half away, dude. I drive 45 minutes to get groceries, so it's like if you live in Alaska, it's not that far.
I guess
away.
yeah, your perception of distance is a little bit warped when the closest thing is 45 minutes away.
Exactly.
Man, we're talking about this off the air, but I'm going to bring it up again, dude. I'm terrified of roller coasters. I've never been on one.
I can't believe. Well, I did double check. Like you've been on the small, like the carnival, like type rides, but never on. Never on an actual. Yeah.
The super teeny tiny one that barely counts. I have.
Yeah.
But yeah, man,
Yeah.
I just I get maybe it's a personal psyche sort of thing. Like I don't particularly like being out of control of like you know what I'm saying by that. So like being strapped to a metal
your
snake.
ex actually called me up crying about that once.
Good, and I hope you told her to go fuck herself. But
that was terrible. I don't know what you just did there, but you just made yourself out to be a very bad guy.
No, but I mean, like, I'm not a control freak in a lot of aspects of life, but I don't want to be strapped to a metal contraption that is going to fling me around for the next, I don't know how long roller coasters go, 5-10 minutes.
See, like, I mean, I agree. Like, that's why I'm afraid of, I'm afraid of heights in general, you know, so, like, that has a lot to do with this, but, like, it's mainly the reason why I'm afraid of, like, something like skydiving, because, yeah, you're just not in control. You're just in, like, a free fall, you know, and whatever happens, but there's something about a roller coaster. And I guess it does, like, I suppose some trust comes into effect here, but I feel like you're in control of making the decision to go onto the roller coaster.
Right.
So if you want to, like, kind of, like, you know, trick your brain a little bit, and it would be the same with skydiving, like, so I can't really say this is, like,
That's
something I've conquered myself, but if you can say to yourself, like, I made the decision to do this, maybe you can, like, regain some of that control, you know? I can't control the roller coaster. Well, that is what you're doing. You're controlling whether you go on it or not.
This is true. I could maybe employ that logic and get it to work for a roller coaster. I could maybe see talking myself into it like that. Skydiving? Hell no. No. You're not getting me to jump out of an airplane. Ever.
You know what's crazy for me? I feel like I could bungee jump because there's that connection to something else. So, like, I think knowing that I'm, like, tethered and harnessed, I could definitely bungee jump, but I couldn't skydive because there's nothing there.
There's nothing.
You know what I mean? I don't think that makes any sense, but I absolutely feel I could bungee jump 100%.
I totally get that. It's the same as climbing with or without a harness. You know, a harness, you have a fail-safe, which the bungee is technically a harness. I mean, it's going to fling you around, but at least you're still tethered to something. Whereas if you're free climbing, which I've never done,